Welcome back to Austria. It's RCGP World Series, round 4.
Qualifying heat 2.
Anyway, so if you just joined us, we've had round 1, and it was dominated by 2 guys.
Davide Ongaro.
Who's fast?
I was building up for this. And Marco Barufalo.
Who's fast when it's dusty? Let's take a look.
Oh, there's a jump start there. Can't see what they actually stopped. They jumped and stopped. I think it was a clean start from the jump start. I think it was a slight jump start from Canas, but it might have been Ogden. Anyway, doesn't really matter because away and streaking ahead already has gone Davide Ongaro, chasing him down. And suddenly appears to change his body. I think they were a white body shell yesterday, so that's probably. Hello and welcome to the WMWRC Buggy Race Centre in Fairing, which is the venue for rounds. Oh, there's a jump start there. Can't see what they actually stopped. They jumped and stopped. I think it was a clean start from the jump start. I think it was a slight jump start from Canas, but it might have been Ogden. Anyway, doesn't really matter because away and streaking ahead already has gone Davide Ongaro, chasing him down. And suddenly appears to change his body. I think they were a white body shell yesterday, so that's probably McBride with a new shell, but I'll find out. Runabout now right up the backside of McBride, looking to make progress quickly. But if you think about this, they effectively go entirely right round this massive circuit in one big dirt oval, or square oval perhaps, for those who remember BSB of the years. Ongaro not getting away, but you kind of wonder where he starts to go. He's got a gap as they go inside himself. Oh, and then McBride's right off. And now we've got Onifant and you've got Barufalo. Barufalo at the inside. Barufalo, he was almost making a fourth of second. McBride fell off the track at the Infinity tabletop, and now Barufalo trying to get up the inside of Onifant. And we're kind of seeing what we saw before, is that Barufalo is the car that's got the speed of Ongaro, because he started way back and had to get through. Blue car, he's going to get up the inside, and there's an over jump there by Onifant. And can he get up? And then they go to this. We're all about power now. Can they carry more speed up the main straight? And in fact, he did, but he had to brake. He didn't brake there, so he's learnt that one. He's immediately, Onifant got a bit of a tank zapper on, lost the drive, and Barufalo, you could see the nose dip as he braked. And now he's going to hop. Oh, he's got him, hopped him, jumped in. Well, no harm, no, he had to wait. He's been given a still 8, so he landed on him, and he had to wait to get through. The winner of that, obviously, when second and third are battling. The person who wins is the leader. And round out. Oh, and now Onifant to Barufalo, but Barufalo will take that, and that's resulted in a massive condensing of the field behind Barufalo in second. We now have McBride in third, and a battle between Onifant, Canas and Bataille for 4th, 5th. But Barufalo now is moving forward. We're with the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. These two are all now running their last lap. And Onifant, who was running second, got to 4th. Barufalo, no real surprise, managed to get to second. So Ongaro has about 3 corners to go to make another win, get another point for RCGP. But of course, he will start 14th from the next one. And Ongaro wins it.
Well, the RCGP guys are revving up, getting ready to start. But if you didn't see yesterday, there was a very helpful track walk, which gives you a really detailed look at the undulations and the different textures of the track. Shall we show it them again, or would you mind doing it again?
Oh, if I have to, I'll do it again. Hello and welcome to the WMWRC Buggy Race Centre in Fairing, which is the venue for rounds 3 and rounds 4 of RCGP, and it's an incredibly different circuit from the one we saw in the Philippines in Manila for round 1. First of all, the surface, look at this, no molasses. That's good old-fashioned dirt, good old-fashioned dust, good old-fashioned hay, and they're having to water the track, as you can see right now, because they are having the dust is so great that it's causing a storm that the drivers cannot see from the rostrum, which is just behind us up there. That's the rostrum and the pit lane. And if you just come down here with the camera, you can see how much dust's been put aside. We're hoping by the time we get to racing, though, that'll be swept off the track and it'll be nice and, well, grippy, but not dusty. Now, the key thing you're going to see about this track is, compared to the Manila, is it's much flatter. There's still but just look at the length of the straight. And that's just came from a previous straight. This is an incredibly fast track. This is probably the fastest 1/8 nitro track I've ever seen. The cars come from full speed back there, all the way down here, all the way over there, all the way down there. You can basically do a complete loop of the outside of the track with just one jump, which they can fly at full speed, just losing a little bit of speed for the individual corners. It is phenomenally fast, and the drivers are really enjoying that factor. Now, we'll hop over here because the next thing we can see is a couple of massively interesting features on the fairing circuit. And we'll start here. Look at that. They've got a lovely bit of paved section, this thing. If you can't quite read it, that says EC 2018. They have a number of European championships here, as well as RCGP. But there are a number of different surfaces. You've got this paved section, you've got mud. Just over here, we have a kind of a metal type. This is metal sort of grating from so you normally see in manhole covers, I suppose. And this is the other thing that's great. We've got a bridge. There's a bridge. Here's the over part of the bridge. And I'm sure if you look down there, that's the under part of the bridge and concrete. So a multi-surface, the main part of which is dirt, the other parts of which are well, all sorts of things. Now, as I was saying, the key thing about this is there's not a lot of jumps. There is a lot of speed. And you'll see some fantastic action. For example, the cars will come barreling in at full speed into this hairpin, they have to brake. And they power straight away again. It's all about the speed. Manila was all about 3 dimensions, jumps up and down, up and down. This is about power, but you need control because there are a couple of sections of jumps. For example, this one, the big double triple up here. Still pretty tall. That'll be less slippy for the cars, I think. Well, and the cameraman's got as well. So you see, they have a triple here. But again, it is all about the flow and the speed. Look at this section here. You come up and they're flat out again. So we are going to see some action-packed wheel-to-wheel racing as the cars no longer have to worry about backing out for a corner where they overtake. They can do it with speed, with power, and most of all, with braking. Who can brake into the corners? This is going to be a fantastic event with a fantastic circuit that is going to show you between rounds 1 and 2 the contrast between the way 1/8 nitro off-road we raced. I cannot wait to see rounds 3 and rounds 4 here at Fairing. With Robert, we always think with an hour final coming up, you're the man to watch, but how are the qualifiers going?
Yesterday were good, and the one from today was so-so. I had a good start, but then I had a crash. I came back again, and I again had a crash with some drivers. I mean, just on the different jumps and so on, we had different lands, so I lost so much. I think I finished 7th, I guess. But yesterday with 1/6, I started 2. So I don't know, making top 5, I think will be okay. And 1 hour long here will be super tough, also for engines and everything. So just now thinking completely on 1 hour main. I will try to go a good pace, and we'll see.
Why do you think we're seeing so many crashes and accidents from you guys?
I don't know, maybe the 5 minutes or 7 minutes qualifying on hit up and like race. It's maybe more stressful for us, like trying to get the first position earlier than it should be. But I don't know, since yesterday I got some crashes on the first ones, and then I just tried to take care not to crash another driver. But I don't know, maybe just we start also so close. But I think it's good for spectators.
It's great stuff. Thank you, Robert. Brilliant. And let's bring the man in. So, JQ, what has happened in round 3 and 4, which didn't happen in round 1 and 2, is the carnage we've been expecting. All you boys trying too hard.
I think there are a few drivers that are relatively clean, and they finished 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in first main, I think, yesterday, which was nice. So maybe the other drivers paid attention. You know, I don't know, but I don't know. It hasn't been my problem. There are some drivers who I think feel that they should be at the front of the pack when they're in the back, and they're just too impatient.
Now, you lost your chance for a great result with some accidents in the first round of the final yesterday. But I mean, how do you feel the car, you, Max, are going?
I think overall we're doing well. I think we are still doing better than the results show, which is positive. Max especially has his lap times are on point, and if he gets it together, I think he could even win one of these qualifying races.
Mid-pack again, what's the tactics?
Just outside wide open. That seems to work. You get around the drivers in the first few corners, and then hopefully I'm somewhere in the top 4 and I'll try and do a clean race. Repeat yesterday.
JQ, well done. Thanks, mate. So it's so that's the JQ and Robert Bataille, who will be lining up on the grid, obviously, for round 2. But who else is on the grid, and in what positions, Matt?
Good question, Nick. And that's something I'm going to answer now. Jorn Neumann will be on pole. Cole Ogden will be in position number 2, followed by Lee Martin in position number 4, Mika Widmeyer. Position number 5 will be Patrick Hoffer. In 6 will be, we've just heard from him, Joseph Quagrain. In 7th, Elliot Boots. 8 will be Robert Bataille. Also, a little frustrated, we just heard from him. Those two go wide round the outside. Anything could happen for the next one. Then Max Mort, the protege of Joseph Quagrain, who Joseph seems to think could potentially win one of these races. Carl McBride will be on position 10. Juan Carlos Canas will be in 11th. In 12th, David Ronefalk. 13th, Marco Baruffalo. These are the fastest 3 guys so far today. Davide Ongaro, no surprises, is last. Why is that no surprise? Well, it means he finished first in the previous one. That's how it works here at the RCGP World Series. That's why we get so much action, because the fastest guy has to get back to the front again to prove his worth. BeachRC.com, HB Racing, P1 Performer Racing, Infinity, ComSport MX, Scuderia Scampi Rosso, S-Works and JQ Racing. They are our partners, they are the teams. Let's see how they do in qualifying 2.
Thank you, man. I can match that. That's a very dynamic delivery of our sponsors. Everybody knows what's going on. Okay, so Heat 2 is going to see some interesting differences, I think. That's an interesting difference for a start. Wait, why did they change things that work quite well? Fine. Obviously we do a lot of, whilst you're not watching, we do a lot of things in the background. Lots of background going on. I just pressed a button and I expected to see a screen. I saw a completely different screen from the same people for no discernible reason. Right, back on the track. Here we go. So, this is our life, you see. Our life is so we've actually, just so you know, behind the scenes here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screens up at the moment running this. So there's quite a lot of information coming along and back, and we have to check many, many things, as much as the drivers do prior to the race when they are looking to see what they can achieve. Okay, so Neumann will start in pole, Ogden will start second, Martin third, Widmeyer fourth, Hoffer fifth, Quagrain sixth, Boots seventh, Battle eighth. We've got a question from James. Battle 8th, Mort 9th, McBride 10th, Canas 11th, Dave Ronefalk 12th, Marco Baruffalo 13th, and right slap bang at the back, Davide Ongaro. Not the first one. I know, but I'm saying not the first one to a question. The other two don't matter. But laps. So we're all whizzing around. Who are we looking at? Let's have a. Okay, no one thinks about the win. So it's a 9 3/4 lap race again, because they effectively start 2 straights or a straight and a half past the timing loop, which is just below the. If you look in the middle of the screen there, it's just below that. Edifice, which is the RCGP timing thing, sorry, not timing, announcement thing, which is over there. Look, RCGP, what do you call that? The kind of the banner thing, the finish banner, the finish pole, I don't know.
Grandstand.
Well, no? That's a grandstand.
I don't know.
He comes on, says a ridiculous word. Okay, let's have a look at the grid areas. Here they come. There's a flag, a blooming wind. Might have to do something about it for the main final. So, this should be interesting. Ogden in second is got to be a good candidate to pick up a good result here. Cole's got some speed. Lee Martin's been on the podium for the individual race before. I think he's on the podium in the third place overall in the first of the two legs of the final. Remember, today we have one final. It's an hour, but we're actually to a number of laps, and we've worked out how many laps that is. So Neumann will start. That was the back of his S-Works mechanic you saw. Ogden has Adrien Bertin to put down his HB. Ronefalk has his dad. 2 seconds to go. And they're off, and they're away. And it's a good, clean start. And it is, in fact, it looks like it's Neumann who's retained the lead. Annoyingly, he's changed his body since yesterday as well. So he now has a white body, but Ogden and Neumann fighting for it as they go through the patio hairpin the first time. Just catching at the back of them. It does seem, I think Martin has got third. So 1, 2, and 3 got away in order. Apologies for that. And then fourth, looks like it might be Boots, but I think he got hopped over there. So no, it's not. So a little bit of gap now as Neumann pulls away because we've lost the battle for Ogden. Ogden lost out, got there second. So it's now Neumann from Martin, and then Mort and Ronefalk. Barufalo has come up from the back. Ongaro, when Ongaro's in 9th. So Barufalo's come from 13th to 5th, and Ongaro has got to 9th. He's wearing a white shell, Neumann indeed. He's on the white shell. He's changed his shell rather annoyingly. If they're going to change the shell, we should get like a release like the FIA get for F1 when people change parts of their car. A new turbocharger, a new shell for your Neumann. So, leading as he currently turns now, the beginning of the second lap. Comes up and over. Lee Martin trying to keep him honest in the Infinity. So the S-Works, with the one thing he can do, he's got a bright blue engine here, which makes it easy to see in profile. But I would say, don't think he gained anything on that one. The gap's gone down by 0.4 of a second. And they're all stretching out. So Ongaro still in 9th, Barufalo up to 5th. There are 2 back starters with first, second, the last one. Ogden, in fact, having a bit of a row with Ongaro. Martin sort of getting a bit closer. And third place man, Max Mort, who appears to want to try and prove his boss true almost immediately, is having no problem at all keeping him to this point. He's just saying that, and he just dropped back a bit. So first and second are a bit. Let's drop back to the third place of Ronefalk, because he's now beginning to move forward. That's yellow and green, going to come out of the start finish now. And keep an eye on the others. They were having a massive battle. That's kind of spread out a little bit. So 1, 2, 3. So he's still Neumann streaking away. Then sort of equidistant to Lee Martin now with and Ronefalk, who we're with now. See that as a thrash on the hot race camera there. Then you've got Barufalo. Now Barufalo is coming at pace. Ongaro is still 8th. Oh, Barufalo moving forward. And Ronefalk makes a huge mistake. Barufalo goes past him. And then Barufalo makes a mistake as well. So this is good news for the first two. This is good news for both Neumann and for Martin, because Barufalo, whilst he has picked up a third, made a mistake there. And you've got Ronefalk as well. So, we're looking at third and fourth, which is Marco Barufalo, won the finals yesterday. And Ronefalk has had nothing but problems. Mort down back in 5th now. 6th place is Robert Bataille. 7th has now moved for Ongaro. Ogden, contrary to my predictions, having a bit of a nightmare. So kind of a weird advanced cursor commentator. Now it looks very much like Barufalo and Ronefalk, who are battling for third though, are dragging themselves up to Martin as we get to halfway through the race. And Barufalo made a mistake there. And Mark Ruffalo's probably racing, so we've got the Hulk on board over Barufalo. So you've got Ronefalk now moving forward to see if he can catch up with Martin. Now this was an electric race. You put your money absolutely on Martin, but this is a nitro race. So Ronefalk now begins to close him down, looking to get to second place. Now he needs to get there quickly, because you have to say that the pace which Neumann's put up, including a 38.9 lap, he's showing the speed. He's taking the race. It took a meeting to get used to this RCGP format. He's made the most of starting on pole, and he's led from the off quite easily. But now Ronefalk very visibly closing up on the infinity of Lee Martin. So second and third together. They'll drag Barufalo there. Mort still running in 5th. 6th is Battle. 7th is Ongaro. 8th is Carl McBride. And we've lost Canas. So Canas is retired. I think it was Canas. We've got a glimpse of the shell. And now Lee Martin has a major problem on his backside, and that is Davide Ongaro, the Swede, the 2016 world champion, when that was HP Performer Racing, but now he just had a bit of a half check up, and now he's got Barufalo. So second, third and fourth are all around each other, letting Neumann have a bit of space. He's still there. Oh, look, inside, no. Up to the hole, and we saw this yesterday, that Martin managed to hold everyone back with just good online driving for several laps, and that lets someone get away. The person getting away this time is Neumann. So up the straight they go, but through's gone Barufalo. No, it wasn't Barufalo, sorry, it was through. Barufalo tried to go through, he didn't. And so it remains Martin, Ronefalk, Barufalo. Martin a bit wide, Ronefalk looking up the inside of him. Come over the infinity jump. Oh, and Martin just a bit too wide. Oh, a little check pass there. That's quite interesting. He came in fairness, he's lost 2 places, and then Ronefalk makes a mistake. And so Barufalo now picks up second, Ronefalk third, Martin's third with the attention of battle behind. But second and third is where the action is. But have they, with just 3 laps to go, got enough time to do anything about Jorn Neumann, who retains his 3-second lead? So Barufalo in second. This would be 2 seconds in a row if he gets it. Third is Ronefalk. They fly to the top of the circuit, come now down towards the hot race hairpin. Just ahead, they won't have seen it. There's a slight struggle to get round the corner from Neumann, but Neumann, sitting with just 2 laps to go, or a lap and 3/4 to go actually, is looking pretty good for the win. So Neumann, with the S-Works, from the S-Works Europe team, there's 2 S-Works International, he's suddenly found a bit of a fight. Now, just going over that double-double there, so the triple, it looks like just lost drive a little bit for Ronefalk, but then suddenly Barufalo makes a bit of a pig's ear of the big drift, and they're back together again. They fight on this now, their last lap for the second overall. Neumann long away, and nothing but a tumble into the weeds is going to stop Neumann winning his round of RCGP and getting a point. But this second and third, where it's all about diving into the hot race corner, Ronefalk needs to look and see what he can do. He comes under on the patio section, we spin around the hairpin. Can he get the drive? Pushing hard up the little hop now over the infinity jump and coming sweep round over the triple, double, single. This is where Ronefalk's not being quick. This time he's good, but he's only got a few corners to get round. Just so you know, you'll probably just see flashing ahead is the white body shell of Jorn Neumann, but it's looking good for Barufalo because it's going to take a bit of a do-or-die move now around this last corner, and round they go, and it is Barufalo second, but more importantly, Neumann wins. Ronefalk is third, battle gets fourth, Ongaro gets to fifth on the last lap, Martin sixth, McBride seventh. Mort dropped down, not a good one for Ogden High Tip, but a great run there. Flights to flag for Neumann, and all sorts of struggles behind for everyone else.
Thank you, Nick, for the commentary. Whilst he makes his way over to the interview area, I'll give you a rundown of the official results. In position number 1, Jorn Neumann. 2, Marco Barufalo. Position number 3, David Ronefalk. 4, Robert Battier. 5, Davide Ongaro. Number 6, Lee Martin. 7, Carl McBride. 8, Max Mort. 9, Elliot Boots. In position 10, Joseph Quagrain. 11, Patrick Hoffer. 12, Cole Ogden. 13, Mika Vidmeyer. And 14, Juan Carlos Canes. So we'll just wait for Nick to get over to the interview area to have a quick chat with some of the drivers. Shouldn't be too much longer. Right, I believe he's ready. Nick. Slight issue with the microphone there. I'm sure we'll get Nick back momentarily. Nick, over to you.
Yeah, slight issue was technical error, but my finger trouble, I'm afraid. But no finger trouble for Jorn Neumann. Your fingers took you off in the lead, and lights to flag.
Yeah, this time I start first and had a clean start. I think for the first time the whole weekend. Then first couple laps I pushed quite hard to make a small gap to Lee, and then I stayed easy, no mistake, and could take the win.
Is it an easy track to drive with no mistakes when you've got very little pressure?
No, I think because it's so high speed you can like hit a rock or some bumps and make a mistake.
So that's a win and a last. So it's a kind of a mixed bag so far, but you're starting absolutely at the back of the grid again. What can you do from there in the third heat?
I hope for maybe someone else have a start crash and I have a good start this time, so I move up a few positions and then see from there.
Jorn, thank you very much. And a regular at the interview. So, well, Marco, 13th to 2nd.
Yeah. Was difficult because this time in the first lap so many drivers crashed, so it was difficult to avoid them. But I drive smooth and I tried to save the car and everything, and it worked very good.
It was noticeable, both you and David, who were battling so closely, were finding that triple quite difficult. Why is that triple so difficult?
It's difficult because the first jump is not in line, but is, I don't know.
At an angle.
Okay. So it's difficult to decide if do one double, or single double or double single. I think if you have some drivers in the front of you, you have to do single double, because so many drivers did a double single and crash. So you can avoid flying them.
So on the fly, you're having to make decisions about how to drive quite a major part of the circuit.
Yes.
Marco, well done. We've got to do all over again, 30th again next time.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So, Marco Barufalo currently leading overall with 2 second places. Ongaro, as you know, got a 5th place. But it's all to play for with 2 more rounds of qualifying to go with RCGP. Who knows what's going to happen? We do know one thing. Neumann will be starting in the back and have to come through. Can he do it? Stay tuned in an hour or so for RCGP here in round 4 in Fairing.
You're off.